So, in today's video, we're going to talk about how to stop procrastinating. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been before, my name is Ryan Conlan, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to stop procrastinating, or how to overcome procrastinating. Well, I haven't still overcome it, but I've gotten better at it. Well, I think I have. I don't know everything, but I think I have. So before we start, let's kind of define what procrastination is. And for me, procrastination is this resistance or a feeling of resisting having to do the task. And that could be for many things. That could be because of effort, that could be because of fear, that could be for a number of reasons why I am procrastinating or resisting what I'm trying to do in the moment. Like if there was no resistance, then I just complete the task that I want to do, but procrastinating or resisting to do it. Resistance, in my experience, can come from many things. It can come from fear, it can come from hesitation, it can come from many different things. And for me especially, I found it really hard to hold myself accountable to overcome that resistance when it pops up, and in order to complete my tax return, or in order to get up and go to the gym when you don't want to. There's a lot of different things, and I do find it hard to hold myself accountable, but I think that's a critical thing when it comes to overcoming procrastination. And there's always a level of discomfort when you face that resistance and feel like you have to do something, and it's about sort of overcoming that resistance. And there's a couple of things that I've implemented on my day-to-day life that have really helped me minimize and limit the amount of procrastination that I do. Don't get me wrong, I still procrastinate a lot, but this has really helped me limit the amount of procrastination I've done. So let me share a couple of things that has really helped, and hopefully you can get some value out of it as well. The first thing I started doing was doing the hardest thing first in the day. So I find when I get up in the morning, my willpower is highest first thing in the day. So I try to do my hardest task first thing in the day, whether that was to go to the gym, sit down to do an assignment, or whether it was that to go and train a client. Do the hardest thing first thing in the day has really helped me, especially because my willpower is highest. If I leave it till later in the day, I'm probably not going to do it, but if I do it first thing, I'm more likely that I'm going to accomplish that. The second thing for me was starting smaller than I think. So I remember I wanted to start reading for ages, and I was like, I don't want to read like a book. Like, how am I going to even read a book? And it was the resistance of feeling like if I'm going to start, I'm going to have to read a whole book, which really held me back. So starting really small and starting with just, okay, I'm just going to read one page and see what happens, really started the momentum and minimized the resistance and the discomfort of starting to read, because I just told myself I'm just going to read one page or even one line and see what happens. And that started eventually me getting into the activity of reading, or the habit of reading a lot more. But just starting just really small helps overcome that procrastination for me. Or even shooting this video. Like if I think, oh, I have to shoot, I have to edit, I have to upload this video, I never do it. So what I'm going to tell myself is, if I just set up the camera, maybe I'll shoot a video. Or if I write a script, maybe I'll shoot a video. And starting small, I found it really, really helpful to overcoming that resistance for procrastination. Third thing is the 5-second rule. Now, the 5-second rule is not my rule, it's done by someone else. Basically what it is, it's a little game to trick yourself in order to doing a task. So you gamify it. So humans are really good at games, or they really enjoy games. So essentially counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 3, 2, 1. And once that 1 hits, it's a mind shift or a trick that, okay, I'm just going to go and do it no matter what. You give yourself a counter and you hold yourself a bit more accountable, and you sort of gamify it. It can work for some people. It's worked for me in the past. It also hasn't worked for me in the past. It really depends on what I'm doing. The next thing is the Pomodoro technique. So the Pomodoro technique is this technique in order to stay productive throughout the day. And what it is essentially, as humans, we only concentrate for maximum, I think it is like 20 minutes or 25 minutes at a time. So what it is you essentially work for 25 minutes, and then you stop, and then you rest for 5 minutes. I think it was made in the 1980s by a guy called Francisco Crillo in order to improve his own time management skills, and I found that really helpful, working in short bouts of 20-25 minutes and then resting for 5 or 10 minutes, or working for 35-40 minutes and then resting for 5 minutes. But using short bouts, short breaks, and working for short sprints is really, really helpful in order to overcome that procrastination. It's working for a short period of time. So you're like, oh, I'd sit down and study for 3 hours. So I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna only study for 25 minutes and then rest for 5 minutes, then that's fine. So that's been really beneficial. The next thing is rewarding yourself. So this sounds maybe kind of strange, but so what you could do is say, okay, after this block of study or after this 25, 30 minutes or 3 hours of study, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a coffee and I'm gonna go hang out with my mates or I'm gonna go to the cinema. And having that delayed gratification of, okay, if I complete this task, I can play 30 minutes of FIFA, or I can play like an hour of FIFA, or I can go see my mates. Like, it makes it a lot easier to having to do the task or to get started to do the task, having that reward at the end. The next thing is using Parkinson's law. So Parkinson's law, work expands to fill the available time for its completion. So what that means, if I have a project, and let's say I have a project for 3 months, basically, I will fill out the work so I only get the most amount of work done at the end of the time. For example, if something is due next year, it will be done in a year. If it must be done in 6 months, then it'll be done in 6 months. So in saying this, giving yourself unreasonable deadlines is a really easy way to use Parkinson's law. So let's say you have a project due in 3 months. Well, why not giving yourself a deadline of 1 month? And having that deadline means you'll do the same amount of work in just a shorter amount of time. So that essentially is Parkinson's law, and using it to your advantage is really helpful, and creating those unreasonable deadlines can be a really easy way of getting over procrastination. And lastly, if you're really struggling with the resistance and overcoming the fear of doing the task, why not just ask for help? Like, ask a mate, ask a parent, ask a partner, just like, hey, can I have help in this task? I just can't overcome it, or I can't do it. Can you hold me accountable? That's what I've done in the past. Like, I've had accountability mates when I've given them money in order to hold me accountable, or if it's to do with like finances, I'll go ask someone, oh, can I have a hand with this one, X, Y, and Z? I'm really struggling to do this thing. So by all means, I have not overcome procrastination, but I've used these techniques to really help me to minimize the amount of procrastination I do throughout the day. So folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got some value for it, I appreciate you give it a thumbs up and like the video and subscribe for more videos, hopefully every week. And I'll see you until next time. See ya.